It feels like just yesterday I was in the attic reacting to the first Google Pixel unveil with a lot of confusion on the white bezels, the big chin, the tiny camera, and here we are, look at us, reacting to the Pixel 10 leaks, which Evan Blass just dropped for all of us, and now we can see just how inspired the Google team is by iPhone features. Let's begin. So Evan Blass has a pretty great track record when it comes to Pixel leaks, and it feels like he's got direct marketing screenshots, like the font is straight off the website and everything. These are renders likely straight from Google. There's a small chance he's wrong, but he's been pretty spot on with these leaks in the past, and some of the specs for the Pixel 10 lineup show quite an impressive camera upgrade, particularly for the Pixel 10 Pro and Pro XL. They are both rocking triple camera systems, of course, but the ultra-wide lens is rocking a 50 megapixel sensor, which is kind of weird considering the main lens is 48 megapixels, which I know megapixels are not everything, but when you're doing ultra wide, usually you have a lens that doesn't let in as much light because it's crammed in such a tiny space on the smartphone, but it's trying to be a really wide field of view. So that extra large sensor on the ultra wide lens should help keep images and video extra sharp. But on top of that, of course, 8K video up to 30 FPS, which all of us need. I'm sure you're going to record your professor's lecture notes and avocado toast videos onto an IMAX screen so you can really get all of that detail. But also the telephoto lenses seem massively upgraded, now allowing a super res zoom up to 100x. I haven't seen that in a while. I think the Samsung Galaxy did 100x back with the S20, but I'm sure the refinement is much better with all kinds of AI upscaling. And of course a new Tensor chip, which supposedly is going to be built by TSMC, the same company building Apple Silicon, which means finally Google might actually have some performance per watt that can rival Apple. Great efficiency, so great battery life, but also really great performance, and sounds like they're boasting about that in the tech specs with extreme battery lifesaver mode getting you up to 100 hours of life. I would love to know what they're doing with the phone for that 100 hours, but still, battery life should be improved thanks to that chip. But all of those specs aside, I have to admit what excites me the most has to absolutely be the addition of basically MagSafe. I mean, Google might not call it that, but there's a leaked image of what looks identical to an Apple MagSafe puck attached to the back of a Pixel 10, and it doesn't look like that Pixel has any kind of case on it, which means they finally may have incorporated the magnets for Qi 2, and because Google invested in the wireless charging consortium, which is very fun to say, there's a good chance these magnets and wireless charging coils on the back support up to 25 watts, and that means even third-party accessories without a case can directly attach onto the back of the Pixel 10, which I think will make this phone easier to switch away from your iPhone than ever before. Yes, there's always going to be a little bit of ecosystem roughness when you're switching between iOS and Android, but even if you have an Apple Find My Wallet, now you'll be able to snap that directly onto the back of a Pixel 10. You just can't port over the iOS wallet app with your Apple Card specifically over to the Pixel. But physically speaking, accessories should be a lot more universal now, which is really exciting to me. I was getting depressed for a while because I thought the iPhone 16e was going to start this trend of saying, oh, you don't need to put magnets on the phone, you can just leave them in a case and tell people to buy that. I do not like that future. I mean, yes, I do use a case, but I want the option for all those people out there who want to keep using MagSafe accessories without a case, and I've met those people. They are real. They may not be the majority, but they exist, and I don't like setting the precedent that every time you buy a new phone, you have to buy a new case to go with it. There's so many companies now that are just like, let's adjust the camera bump a little bit. That way your old case won't quite fit and you'll have to buy a new one. And that's one of the beautiful things about MagSafe. It allowed companies to come up with all kinds of accessories that as long as they had that ring of magnets on the back, you could use them between different models of iPhone. You could take that Apple MagSafe battery pack and put it on an iPhone 13 mini, and you could take that same MagSafe battery off, even though it was kind of expensive and not very good for the price, but you could take it and throw it on the back of an iPhone 16 Pro Max today, and it would still work. Maybe you love Lightning and you just want to keep using that to charge your phone. Well, there you go. There's your Lightning to iPhone 16 adapter. I feel like that increases the shelf life of accessories and devices, and that kind of goes against the case narrative, which is like, okay, this piece of plastic and leather is going to be good for this generation, but as soon as you're done with that phone, now that case is useless. It can never be put on anything else ever again. But I feel like Google's finally listened to me after all these years, and and actually has a shot of catching up with Apple when it comes to performance and efficiency, thanks to that new Tensor G5 chip, and caught up to Apple with one of my favorite features, of course, which is MagSafe, being able to just snap that phone on mounts, on charging accessories, or put battery banks or gimbals or wallets on the back of the phone without having to buy an additional case. That's awesome. So I'm already excited for the Pixel 10. I don't know what the event has left to unveil at this point. I think it's pretty much all out there. But yeah, as we expected, the regular, cheaper Pixel 10 is also getting a triple camera system. It's just not as good as the Pros, but there's likely to be a decent price gap of like $200 or $300 between the Pro and the regular. So for a lot of people, that may be worth it, and you'll just have to be settled up with 20x zoom instead of 100. But I'll be honest with you, even when I had my Galaxy S20, 100x zoom situations did not come up very much. Basically, the moon and maybe a plane going by. I guess maybe sporting events, if you go to those, that might be handy, but who cares? We're getting MagSafe on a Pixel, finally. Hate to say it, Apple, but the Pixel 10, just aesthetically speaking, I think it looks way better than iPhones. That visor design is far more elegant and clean than what it looks like you're cooking up with the iPhone 17. It's like, I know your name is Tim Cook, and I know you guys love cooking, but that doesn't mean you need to have a stove on the back of every phone. It's okay if people get caught using it in the wild, I guess, because I got corrected everywhere. Apparently, this guy is not getting fired. Congratulations. If he's just doing his job, though, then Apple, you can rearrange the camera bump. Don't worry about it. We won't tell anyone. Anywho, what do you guys think of everything that's been leaked and rumored for the Pixel 10 series? Are you excited? Are there other features that might get you to switch away from your iPhone? Feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And thank you to everybody supporting this channel directly. Seriously, helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos. So thanks again. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you all in the next one.